The moon marked her twice. Once with destiny. And once with betrayal. When Arya Hale discovered her mate, she thought her suffering was finally over. But the moment Alpha Draven touched her skin, his wolf recoiled. You smell like him. You're tainted. I reject you. He meant Ashen. His rival, his enemy, the outlawed alpha of the Shadowborn pack. What Draven didn't know was this. Arya had never met Ashen. Had never touched him. Had never stepped foot onto Shadowborn land. Yet Ashen knew her name. Knew her scent. Knew the burning mark on her shoulder. Because he had put it there. And when Draven cast her out into the freezing wilds, Ashen was the one waiting in the snow. Come with me, little star. If he rejects you, I'll claim you completely. Before we dive deeper into betrayal, destiny, and a war between two alphas over one rejected mate, hit subscribe and drop a comment if you already feel like Draven deserves what's coming. Now, let your heartbeat race. We begin. The winter solstice moon blazed silver-white above the Frostfall Mountains, casting harsh, glittering light across the Nightwalk Pack's claiming grounds. Wolves gathered in a wide circle, breath fogging the icy air as magic rippled with anticipation. Tonight, Arya Hale would finally learn her fate. After 20 years of being treated as the pack's fragile, unwanted burden. After a lifetime of being dismissed as too quiet, too weak, too soft. Tonight was the night her mate would touch her hand, breathe in her scent, and claim her before the moon. She wasn't expecting love. She wasn't expecting devotion. Just acceptance. A place. A heartbeat to call her own. But fate had other plans. Alpha Draven Voss, cold, controlled, revered by all, stepped forward, his dark wolf aura dragging shadows behind him. His golden eyes locked onto Arya's as the crowd hushed. Come, Draven commanded. Arya's breath caught. She stepped toward him, slow, trembling, vulnerable. He reached out. His fingers brushed her soul mark. The world froze. Draven inhaled. Then violently jerked away. His face twisted. His wolf snarled. Magic shattered. He spat the words that cracked her heart. Her scent, it's corrupted. She carries the mark of the Shadowborn Alpha. She's already claimed. I reject her. Gasps rippled through the circle. Arya staggered backward, clutching her shoulder, feeling heat, a pulse she didn't understand. She had never met the Shadowborn Alpha. Never even seen his territory. But her mark glowed faintly. As if answering a voice she'd never heard. Draven lifted his chin. Cast her out. I will not mate with a wolf claimed by Ashen. Ashen. The enemy of every pack. The Rogue King. The Dark Alpha whose existence was a threat to every treaty. Arya didn't argue. Her voice had abandoned her the moment her mate did. She walked into the winter wilderness with nothing but thin clothing, a hollow chest, and a burning mark she could not explain. By the time her legs gave out, she collapsed face first into deep snow. And landed in strong, warm arms. A low, cruelly amused voice rumbled above her. Easy, little star. You're freezing. Her eyes fluttered open. Silver hair. Black eyes with rings of burning molten gold. A grin made of danger and prophecy. Ashen. The very wolf Draven claimed had tainted her. But Ashen wasn't looking at her with disgust. He looked at her like she was treasure lost and found. You smell like destiny, he murmured. Mine. Arya tried to push away. I've never met you. You did, he whispered. You just don't remember. Her heartbeat stuttered. He leaned closer. And unlike your precious Alpha Draven, I don't reject what's mine. He lifted her as if she weighed nothing, pulling her against his warmth in the frozen dark. Come, Arya Hale, he murmured. Let me take you home. Snow drifted over Arya's eyelashes, melting the second Ashen's body heat enveloped her. His scent, dark pine, storm winds, and something ancient, surrounded her like a cloak. She tried to struggle. Her body refused. Weak. Frozen. Rejected. You shouldn't fight the wolf who came to save you, Ashen murmured, shifting her higher into his arms as he strode through the snow. I didn't ask you to, Arya whispered, voice cracking. No, he agreed softly. But you needed me. She flinched. Draven had said the same words once, years ago, when she'd first joined Nightwalk Pack as a frightened orphan. Except Draven had meant it as an obligation. Ashen said it like a vow. The wind howled around them, biting into her skin. She couldn't stop shivering. Ashen paused. His jaw tightened. Draven threw you into a blizzard without a coat. His voice dropped lower. He's braver than I thought. Or stupider. He didn't throw me, Arya murmured weakly. No. Ashen's laugh was soft and merciless. He rejected you in front of the entire pack and turned his back while you froze. I was watching. She stiffened. Why, you were what? Watching. His lips brushed the top of her head, not affectionate, but claiming. You walked into my territory the moment he cast you out. That's not your territory. Little star, he murmured, you're halfway into Shadowborn land right now. The moment Draven rejected you, you entered the one place he fears. A place no wolf dared touch. A place Arya had been unknowingly walking toward. As if something inside her had been calling her here. Ashen's arms tightened around her. You felt it, didn't you? She swallowed. Felt, what? The pull. Her breath caught. I felt, she hesitated. I don't know. You felt me. His voice vibrated through her bones. No, she whispered. I've never met you. Draven said you. Draven lied. Ashen's tone darkened. He lied to protect his pride. Arya's vision blurred. Exhaustion dragged at her limbs. Ashen, why do you keep calling me Little Star? For the first time, his expression shifted. Softening, darkening, breaking. Because that's what I named you, he whispered. The night I saved you. She froze. Saved her? When? She asked, trembling. He didn't answer at first. Instead, he stopped walking and gently lowered her onto a soft mound of snow, kneeling before her as if she were a relic, a prophecy, a sin he was willing to carry. His gloved fingertips brushed her burning soul mark. It started with blood, he said quietly. Yours. Her chest tightened. I was a boy then. Barely shifted. I found you alone in the ash-wild gorge, half dead, your wolf fading, your soul marked dim. Her breath hitched. No memory surfaced. Nothing but cold and hunger and the feeling of always being unwanted. You looked at me, Ashen murmured. Not with fear. With trust. He closed his eyes as if reliving it. And I did the one thing a wolf should never do without permission. Her pulse pounded. What? She whispered. He opened his eyes. I marked you. The world tilted. No, she choked. I would have remembered. I sealed the memory to keep you alive, Ashen said softly. If any pack had discovered what I'd done, they would have killed you for carrying the mark of their enemy. Arya pressed a hand to her mouth. Her mark burned. Draven's rejection. Ashen's certainty. The pull in her chest she didn't understand. It all connected. I didn't want to claim you before you could choose me of your own will, Ashen continued. But Draven forced my hand the moment he hurt you. Hurt me, she whispered. His voice dropped to a deadly softness. When a bonded wolf rejects their awakened mate, it tears their spirit apart. But Draven wasn't my mate, she said desperately. No, Ashen agreed. He wasn't. But your soul mark had not fully awakened. It still responded to the first wolf who reached for it. Her heart twisted. So when Draven rejected me, you shattered. Arya squeezed her eyes shut, tears slipping free. Ashen caught one with his thumb. I felt your pain from miles away, he murmured. It almost drove me feral. Ashen, her voice broke. You were never Draven's, he growled softly. You were mine the night I bled for you. And when you're strong enough, you'll feel the truth in your bones. She stared into his dark, molten eyes. Ashen, what do you want from me? His answer was soft and devastating. I want what's already mine, little star. And I want you to want it too. The bond beneath her skin pulsed, slow and hot and terrifying. And somewhere deep in the forest behind them, a wolf howled her name. Draven. He was coming. Ashen rose with a slow, chilling smile. Good, he murmured. Let him try. He lifted Arya effortlessly back into his arms. Let the battle begin. The Shadowborn border rose before them like a living wall, black pines twisted upward, their branches heavy with frost, their shadows thick as smoke. The air itself seemed different on this side of the mountains, sharper, charged, threaded with old magic that thrummed against Arya's skin. Ashen carried her as if she weighed nothing, boots crunching over snow as he crossed into his own territory without hesitation. The moment his foot touched Shadowborn soil, the world responded. A deep, resonant howl echoed through the forest. Not threatening, not warning. Welcoming. Arya shivered. Ashen's grip tightened. They can smell your mark. That I'm yours, she whispered. His lips brushed her temple, not a kiss, but a promise. That you're claimed. Her heart stumbled. Before she could ask anything more, a powerful wind slammed behind them, scattering snow in a white explosion. Arya jerked her head up. Draven. He landed in the snow with the force of a falling star, fully shifted, massive black wolf, claws digging furrows in the frost, breath coming out in angry snarls. His golden eyes locked onto her. Mine, his wolf roared through the bond space. Come back. Now. Arya's chest constricted. Her wolf didn't answer him. Ashen didn't bother shifting. He turned his head slightly, one brow raised in the laziest, most infuriatingly calm expression an alpha could possibly wear. You're trespassing, Draven. Draven shifted partly back, wolf still beneath his skin, still trembling with rage. Give her back. No, Ashen's voice was silk and steel. She doesn't want you. You don't get to decide that. Draven snarled. She's my mate. Ashen turned, so slowly, so deliberately, that the air itself froze. No, he said. She was your convenience. She was your afterthought. She was your Luna only as long as she was untainted in your eyes. His grin sharpened, fangs glinting. And the second you sensed my mark, you threw her into the snow. Draven's rage cracked the ice beneath his feet. Arya, he rasped, shifting fully back into human form. Snow steamed off his skin. Please. Come here. Tell him I'm your mate. Tell him you don't want this. Arya swallowed. Her wolf lifted its head. She felt nothing for Draven. Nothing but old hurt. And an ache that wasn't longing. But shame. Shame for how quickly she'd accepted rejection. Shame for how long she'd yearned for scraps of affection. Shame for waiting for a man who had never truly seen her. Her voice trembled. I don't think you were ever meant to be my mate. Draven froze. Arya forced herself to continue. You rejected me without asking questions. Without giving me a chance to speak. And now you want me back because she motioned weakly to Ashen, wants me. Draven flinched as if struck. That's not, Arya, that's not what happened. I panicked. The scent, your mark, your soul felt like it wasn't mine. I thought you'd chosen him. Her throat tightened. I didn't choose anyone. Ashen's voice rolled over the snow like a winter storm. She didn't have to choose. He tilted his head, looking down at Draven with dark amusement. The moon chose for her 20 years ago. Draven's eyes widened. What are you saying? Ashen stepped forward, still holding Arya effortlessly in his arms. I marked her, he said. Before she ever set foot in your pack. Before either of us knew what she would become. Draven staggered backward, breath punching out of him. No. No, her file said she came to my pack unmarked. She was tested. They didn't test deep enough, Ashen said, voice a low growl. Her mark was sealed. Hidden beneath her skin until the night her wolf stirred. Arya touched her shoulder instinctively. The mark throbbed. Draven's voice cracked. Why? Why would you do that to her? Ashen's eyes softened, not with mercy, but with something more dangerous. She was dying. Arya stiffened. The memory Ridian had awakened, blood, cold, a silver-haired boy, flickered at the edge of consciousness. Ashen continued. I found her half frozen in a ravine. Her wolf fading. No pack. No family. Just wide eyes looking up at me like I was the only thing standing between her and oblivion. Arya's heart twisted painfully. Ashen's jaw tightened. I marked her to keep her alive. And sealed the memory to keep her safe. Because if any pack found out their precious Lunarborn pup carried the scent of their greatest enemy. He looked dead at Draven. They would have killed her before she learned to speak. Silence crushed the clearing. Even the wind held still. Draven swallowed hard, voice barely audible. She was a Lunarborn. Ashen smirked. Not just Lunarborn. A descendant of the original Frostcall line. Powerful. Rare. A target. Arya stared at him, breath shaking. I'm not powerful. Ashen brushed his thumb along her cheek, warm even in the snow. Not yet, he murmured. But you will be. Draven stepped forward as if in a trance. Arya, you're. His voice broke. You're everything I spent my life preparing to protect. And I rejected her. She saw the realization hit him like a blade through the ribs. Ashen's laugh was soft and merciless. Oh no, Draven. Don't you dare fall apart now. This is the part where you grovel. Where you get down on your knees and beg the girl you threw away not to walk into the arms of your sworn enemy. Draven shook, breath fogging the air. Ashen leaned in, smile sharpening. But here's the best part, Nightwalk Alpha. He lowered his head until their foreheads almost touched. You're already too late. A blast of aura erupted from Ashen, shadow black, lightning-lined, ancient. It slammed into Draven and sent him skidding back across the snow. Arya gasped, gripping Ashen's cloak. Ashen, stop. Don't hurt him. He stilled. Very slowly, he looked down at her. Do you still care what happens to him? He asked quietly. Her voice cracked. I don't want any more wolves hurt because of me. Ashen's eyes softened, dangerously. Little star, he murmured, touching her chin, no one dies for you. They bow for you. Behind them, deep howls rose through the forest, shadowborn wolves responding to Ashen's aura. Draven forced himself upright, shaking with humiliation, rage, heartbreak. Arya, he rasped, if you leave with him, there's no going back. Ashen's voice was silk and steel. She's not going back anywhere. Arya's heart pounded. Snow swirled around them like a storm of shimmering fragments. Two alphas. One destiny. One bond already pulsing in her skin. Draven reached out a trembling hand. Arya, please. Ashen tightened his grip on her. Her wolf rose inside her, whispering one truth. Home is not where you were safe. Home is where you were saved. Arya exhaled shakily. And chose. For a heartbeat, the world held still. Snowflakes paused midair. Cold wind curled into silence. Even the wolves in the distant pines stopped howling. Draven's outstretched hand trembled. A plea, a command, a desperate attempt to rewrite the moment he had broken. Ashen's grip on Arya tightened. Steady, possessive, protective, a promise wrapped in danger. And Arya. She stood at the center of two alpha destinies, her wolf pacing inside her chest like a creature finally beginning to wake. Arya, Draven whispered, voice raw. Come back home. Home. The word cut deeper than a blade. Nightwalk Pack had never been a home. Only a shelter from the cold, a place where she had survived, not lived. A place where she'd waited, silently, foolishly, hoping someone might see her. Draven had been the sun she chased for years, warmth she longed for, recognition she thought would save her. But Ashen was the fire she didn't know she carried. Her breath trembled. Ashen, she whispered, voice shaking. If I choose you, I choose your war. Your enemies. Your darkness. Ashen lowered his head until his forehead brushed hers. You also choose your truth, he murmured. Your wolf. Your birthright. The power you were never allowed to touch. Her heart slammed against her ribs. And if I choose Draven? Ashen lifted his gaze. Dark eyes burning with the kind of fury only heartbreak could fuel. Then, he said quietly, I will escort you back myself, and rip out my own heart so it stops calling for you. Arya inhaled sharply. Not a threat. A truth. Pain carved across Ashen's features, the kind of pain only a mate bond forced far too young could inflict. Arya, Draven stepped forward, snow cracking beneath his bare feet. This is not fair. You're confused. You've been pulled into some ancient shadowborn manipulation. Ashen's snarl ripped through the clearing like thunder. Watch your mouth. Draven didn't back down. He took 2 more steps, chest heaving. Arya, listen to me. His voice cracked. You've lived in Nightwalk your whole life. I trained you. I protected you. You ignored her. Ashen's voice was quiet, but deadly. You overlooked her. You called her weak. You rejected her in front of your pack. And now you want her because I want her. Draven's jaw clenched. That's not. It's exactly that. Ashen's eyes glinted with cruel honesty. And if you had the spine to admit it, she might have pitied you. Arya shuddered. You don't get to decide what she feels, Draven spat. You don't get to rewrite her life. Ashen's expression went cold. I didn't rewrite her life, he said softly. I saved it. The wind howled between them, as if repeating the truth. Arya lifted a shaking hand to her shoulder. Her soul mark throbbed. A slow, hot pulse syncing with a heartbeat that wasn't Draven's. Ashen's. Her wolf pressed forward, fierce and luminous, letting out a single quiet truth. Him. Arya exhaled, releasing years of waiting, yearning, hoping for scraps. Her voice broke the air like a crack in destiny. Draven. I don't choose you. Draven froze. The cold hit him harder than Ashen's aura had. No, he whispered. No, you can't, Arya, please, don't say that. Tears burned her eyes. I'm sorry. He staggered backward, collapsing to one knee. His wolf gave a sound that shattered the night. A howl of a soul that finally understood what it had thrown away. Ashen stepped beside her, one hand sliding to her waist, not dragging, not forcing. Just there. Steady. Real. Claiming. Draven lifted his face, tears carving paths through the frost on his skin. Ash, he rasped, eyes burning with hatred and agony. If you take her now, I will wage war on your entire pack. Ashen smiled. Slow. Cruel. Terrifying. Then I hope you've written your will. The air pulsed with shadowborn magic. Arya swallowed. Ashen, don't. He looked down at her, and some of the killing edge softened. He won't start a war, Ashen whispered. Not while you still pity him. He turned back to Draven. But hear this, Nightwalk Alpha. If you ever come for what's mine again, I'll put your head on a spike and use your spine for a door hinge. Draven's wolf nearly tore through his skin, but grief kept him grounded. You're taking advantage of her awakening, Draven choked. She isn't whole yet. Her wolf is unstable. She's vulnerable. Ashen's aura erupted like smoke catching flame. No, he snarled. She is awakening because I am here. She is stabilizing because she is home. The word struck Arya like lightning. Home. Ashen met her gaze. For the first time in your life, he said quietly, you are where you belong. Her chest tightened. Her wolf pressed to the surface. And Arya whispered the truth she'd been terrified to say. Ashen, take me with you. Silent devastation carved across Draven's face. Ashen exhaled, a shaky, reverent sound, as if he had been drowning for 20 years and finally touched air. He lifted Arya into his arms again, but this time. Her arms circled his neck willingly. Draven rose to his feet, body trembling, voice breaking. Arya, please, don't go with him. She looked at him one last time. Not with hatred. Not with longing. With goodbye. I can't stay in a place that only wanted me when someone else did. Draven's heart shattered in the snow. Ashen turned, carrying her deeper into Shadowborn lands as the forest closed behind them. Draven's desperate scream tore into the mountains. Arya. But she didn't look back. Because the girl who had spent her whole life waiting for a mate's affection was gone. The woman in Ashen's arms was stepping into a destiny fierce enough to burn 2 packs to the ground. The world beyond the border held a different kind of silence. Not the cold, punishing quiet of Nightwalk lands. But a living hush, thick with ancient magic, old trees, and wolves who watched from the shadows with glowing eyes. Ashen carried her as if she was something sacred. His wolves parted through the forest like shadows splitting around a flame, heads lowered, eyes wary, not of him, but of her. Arya shivered. Why are they looking at me like that? She whispered. Ashen didn't slow. They can feel your mark. My mark? Yes. His voice dropped to a low rumble. You carry the scent of my claim. Even sealed, it bleeds through when your wolf stirs. She felt heat rise to her cheeks. I didn't choose. You didn't have to choose, he interrupted softly. Your wolf did. Arya fell silent, pulse hammering. They entered a narrow canyon flanked by black stone. Frost glimmered like stars along the walls. At the end of the path, nestled under a cliff of obsidian rock, stood an enormous wooden fortress carved directly into the mountain. Shadowborn Keep. Ashen's home. Her breath caught. It was not intimidating in the way Draven's fortress had been, cold stone and rigid structure meant to display dominance. Shadowborn Keep was wild, alive, warm firelight flickering behind every window. Wolves perched on balcony rails and rooftops, their eyes following Ashen with absolute loyalty. But Arya noticed something else. Fear. Not of her. Of what she meant. Ashen felt her stiffen. Do not be afraid, little star, he murmured, shifting her in his arms so her cheek rested over his heartbeat. They fear what I will become with you at my side, not what you are. That isn't comforting, she whispered. It should be. The great doors opened before them without a single guard touching them. Inside, the hall was warm, lit by dozens of fire braziers, lined with black wolf banners. The air smelled of pine resin, smoke, and forbidden magic. Ashen finally set her down, slowly, as if reluctant to let go, though his hands lingered at her waist a heartbeat longer than necessary. Stand straight, he murmured. Your wolf is listening. Arya swallowed and obeyed. But the moment her feet fully touched the ground, her knees wobbled. Ashen caught her instantly. Easy. I'm fine, she lied. No, his voice softened in ways Draven's never had. You're exhausted. Awakenings drain the spirit, especially when done half frozen in the snow by an idiot alpha who didn't deserve to breathe the same air as you. Arya's lips twitched despite herself. Ashen gently guided her toward a firelit chamber, ushering her into a room lined with furs, moonstone lanterns, and a massive bed carved from dark wood. She froze. This is your room, she whispered. Ashen's jaw flexed. It was. He turned to her fully, stepping close enough that his aura wrapped around her like a warm storm. It's yours now. Her breath hitched. Ashen, I can't stay in your private rooms. I'm not your Luna. I'm not even your mate yet. I haven't chosen. Yes, he said quietly, you have. Arya's heart stumbled. Ashen. He reached for her shoulder, fingers brushing the glowing soul mark through her torn shirt. You chose when you said my name, he murmured. When you stepped out of Draven's reach. When you let me carry you home. Her wolf purred inside her chest. It doesn't mean I'm ready, she whispered. Ashen's expression softened, more than she expected, more than she knew he showed anyone else. I know, he said. And I'm not asking for what you aren't ready to give. He lifted her chin delicately. You will not be touched until your wolf wants me. Her breath trembled. Her wolf pressed forward, curious, awake, warm. Ashen continued. I will not mark you yet. Her chest tightened. Why? Because you do not fully understand what you are, he said. And I refuse to bind you to me until you stand in your power, not as the girl Draven rejected, but as the woman the moon created. Arya swallowed. Something fierce rose inside her. What am I? She whispered. He smiled faintly. You are the last frost call. His voice deepened. Born to command moonlight. Born to bind wolves with a single breath. Born to face an alpha like Draven and make him kneel without touching him. Her knees weakened. Ashen guided her to sit on the edge of the bed. You are the mate destiny chose for me before either of us shifted. He paused. And you're the only soul I would bleed for twice. Her throat closed. You already bled for me. He sat beside her, close enough that their shoulders brushed. You were dying. Barely a year old. Wolves hunted Frostcall bloodlines. Your mother hid you, but not well enough. A shadow passed through his eyes. When I found you in the ravine, the way you cried when your wolf flickered, he swallowed hard. I couldn't watch you fade. He reached for her hand. I marked you to save you. And sealed your memory so no one would discover us. Arya's voice was barely a whisper. Why didn't you come for me? Ashen inhaled, slow and pained. Because your wolf stayed sealed. As long as she slept, you were invisible to every alpha who might want to use you. If I awoke her too early, the world would have smelled your lineage, and you would have died. Arya's eyes burned with unexpected tears. That's why, Ashen said softly, brushing his thumb over her cheek, when Draven rejected you, it nearly killed me. The seal finally cracked. Your wolf reached for me. I felt it like a blade. She stared at him, at the enemy she'd been raised to fear. Who had protected her longer than her own pack. I don't know who I'm supposed to be without Nightwalk, she whispered. Ashen leaned in. You're not supposed to be anyone's shadow. Or burden. Or rejected mate. He cupped her face. You're supposed to be mine. Her wolf surged, pushing warmth through her veins. Arya swallowed hard. I'm scared. I know. His forehead touched hers. You can be scared. But you're not alone. She shut her eyes. For the first time in her life, fear didn't feel like an ending. It felt like a beginning. Then, a distant howl split the air. Ashen stiffened. That's not Draven, she whispered. No, Ashen growled, eyes narrowing. Draven wouldn't return so soon. The howl echoed again, closer. Arya's wolf recoiled. Ashen stood, aura igniting like a storm. Something else crossed the border. What is it? Ashen's expression darkened. A faction that has wanted Frostcall blood for decades. Arya's breath shook. They're coming for me. Ashen's fangs lengthened, shadows curling at his feet. No, he said softly. They're coming to die. The howl echoed again, closer this time, crawling down the stone corridors like a warning carried on winter wind. Arya jolted from the bed, heart punching her ribs. Her wolf twisted inside her chest, uneasy, alert. Ashen had already crossed the chamber, pulling on a black cloak lined with silver-threaded runes. His aura sharpened, silk turning to steel, warmth turning to a blade's cold focus. Ashen. Arya's voice trembled. Who's out there? Not friends, he growled, fastening the clasp at his shoulder. Not allies. Not even rogues. He turned to her, eyes burning molten gold in the firelight. They're hunters. Her blood froze. Hunters, of what? Ashen stepped toward her, cupping her jaw with lethal gentleness. No, his thumb brushed her cheek. Hunters of whom? Realization slammed into her. Me. Yes. His voice dropped to a whisper meant for her alone. They've waited 20 years for you to awaken. They caught the scent the moment your soul mark flared. Arya's throat closed. Memories she didn't have, shattered images of cold, blood, a woman's scream, flickered behind her eyes. But they can't possibly know where I am. Ashen's jaw flexed. They don't. They're testing the borders. And if they breach my wards. He didn't finish. He didn't have to. Arya's stomach dropped. I should hide. No. The answer came so quickly she blinked. Ashen stepped closer, catching her hands in his. I will not lock you away. His voice softened. I've waited 2 decades to see your wolf take her first breath. I won't let you hide that light because others want to steal it. Ashen, I don't even know how to shift. You will. I don't know how to fight. You will. I'm not. His thumb pressed to her lower lip, silencing her. You are not weak. You were suppressed. There's a difference. Her wolf stirred, quiet but fierce. Ashen brushed a strand of hair away from her face, expression softening in a way that should not have been possible for a man who ruled the most feared pack in the region. When the hunters come, he murmured, you will not run. You will stand behind me. And you will watch what happens to wolves who think they can take what's mine. Heat curled low in her stomach. Then. The castle trembled. A distant explosion of snow and stone shook the floor beneath them. Arya gasped. Ashen. He pulled her tight against his chest. They're testing my outer wards. He inhaled deeply. 6 of them. Wolfborn. Trained. Poisoned claws. Poisoned. His eyes went dead cold. They use Moonbane. It kills the wolf spirit slowly, agonizingly. Meant for high-rank wolves. meant for frost-cool blood. A chill wrapped around Arya's spine. I'm the reason they're here. No, Ashen corrected softly. You're the reason they will die here. He pressed a kiss, quick, fierce, protective, to her forehead, then pulled away. Stay behind me, he commanded. Do not run. Do not scream. Do not fear. I'm not afraid of them, she whispered. He paused. A slow smile, dangerous, reverent, touched his lips. I know. He offered her his hand. She took it. He led her out into the corridor, the castle vibrating with energy as shadowborn wolves ran across stone bridges and leapt from balconies, preparing for battle. Arya stepped into the icy courtyard. And froze. 6 wolves stood on the ridge above the keep, silhouettes against the full moon. Not normal wolves. Twisted. Scarred. Fur streaked with grey-black ash. Eyes glowing with silver poison. Hunters. The largest stepped forward, snarling a word in the old tongue. Frostcool. Arya flinched. Ashen's aura thundered outward like a shockwave, cracking the ice beneath his boots. He stepped in front of her, voice a low, lethal whisper. You trespass on shadowborn ground. The lead hunter snarled. We come for the girl. Then you walk to your deaths. 4 hunters lunged at once, leaping off the ridge. Ashen didn't move. At the last second, he flared his aura outward. A cyclone of shadow and silver flame. The hunters hit the ground screaming. Their fur ignited with black fire as they clawed frantically at the snow. Arya stumbled backward, but Ashen caught her wrist, steadying her without looking away from the burning wolves. One hunter escaped the blast and sprinted toward Arya, claws glistening with moonbane. Arya's breath hitched. Her wolf roared inside her. Ashen growled, "Don't touch her." He blurred. One moment he was beside her. The next he slammed the hunter into the stone wall, claws through its throat. The creature collapsed at Arya's feet, blood steaming in the cold air. Ashen turned back, eyes blazing with feral gold. Arya, he breathed, voice low and trembling with restraint, are you hurt? She shook her head. And no. He exhaled softly. Good, he murmured, brushing her cheek with his knuckles. I would have killed them slower. The remaining hunters regrouped, snarling. The leader pointed directly at Arya. She is not yours, Ashen Varin. She belongs to the Crescent Order. Ashen's laugh was soft, predatory, chilling. No. His aura surged like a collapsing star. She belongs to no one. But she is mine to protect. The hunters leapt again. Ashen stepped forward. But Arya's wolf surged, burning through her veins with sudden heat, sudden fire, sudden clarity. A sound ripped from her throat. Not a scream. Not a cry. A growl. Soft. Rough. Throaty. Ancient. The hunters froze mid-lunge. Ashen went still. Every shadowborn wolf dropped to one knee involuntarily, heads bowed. Arya clutched her chest as a silver-gold light flared under her skin. What's happening? She whispered, breath shaking. Ashen turned to her. Slowly, reverently. Eyes wide with something she had never seen in him. Or Arya. He stepped closer, voice trembling. Your wolf, she's waking. No, no, she can't, I've never. But the glow intensified. Her bones felt molten. Her heartbeat thundered. Her soul mark burned like a second sun. One of the hunters whispered, terrified. Frostcall. Alpha blood. Arya gasped, falling forward. Ashen caught her instantly. It's okay, he whispered fiercely. Don't fight it. Let her through. I can't. You can. I'm here. Her wolf clawed upward, demanding release. The world spun. Her skin rippled. Ashen held her like she was breaking open light in his arms. "Arya," he murmured, voice breaking with pride and longing. "Shift for me." She screamed. But it wasn't pain. It was awakening. With a blinding flash, Arya shifted. For the very first time. Her wolf stood trembling on new legs, fur shimmering silver gold, eyes burning with moonfire. Every shadowborn wolf bowed. Ashen didn't bow. He stepped forward, voice barely a whisper. "Little star." His eyes softened like falling dusk. "You're magnificent." Arya's vision blurred into a whirl of silver, flame, and snow. Her body felt foreign, yet familiar. Lighter. Stronger. Ancient. Her paws pressed into the frozen stone, trembling under the weight of a wolf form she had never known, muscle and instinct surging where soft human uncertainty used to live. Her fur shimmered. Silver gold with faint veins of pale blue moonlight pulsing beneath the strands. Gasps rippled through the courtyard. Shadowborn wolves, hardened warriors who answered to no one but Ashen, lowered their heads in instinctive submission. Not to him. To her. Arya stumbled back, tail brushing the snow, panic fluttering inside her chest. Her wolf growled softly, "Steady, little one, this is right." Ashen stepped forward slowly, hands lifted, not in dominance, but reverence. "Easy, little star," he whispered. "You're in control. Feel your paws. Feel your breath." Her breath came out in a shimmering fog of silver flame. She whined, head shaking as she tried to adjust. Her legs buckled. Ashen lunged forward, arms out, catching her muzzle gently between his palms. "You're all right," he murmured. "I've got you." Her panic dimmed. His touch grounded her. It always had. The hunters, still alive, watched with frozen horror. One of them whispered the words that chilled even the moon. "Frost call primordial." Another hissed, "Impossible." They were wiped out. Ashen growled, eyes turning black with lethal rage. "I told you parasites to step foot near her again and your bloodline would end." The lead hunter bared its poisoned fangs. "We serve the Crescent Order. The girl is theirs by right. Her blood belongs to the goddess." Her blood, Ashen snarled, belongs to herself. The hunter's gaze flicked to Arya. "You do not know what you are, little wolf." Arya's wolf responded before she could think. A deep, resonant growl that vibrated the courtyard stones. The lead hunter staggered backward. Ashen's lips curled. "Good girl," he murmured. Heat rushed through Arya's chest, half embarrassment, half something warm and primal. Ashen stepped in front of her, aura crackling like shadowstorm lightning. "She is Frostcall," the hunters spat. "She carries the forbidden lineage. The order will rise again when her blood is offered." Ashen answered softly, dangerously. "Then the order will die again tonight." The hunters lunged. 5 against 1. Arya tried to leap forward, her wolf snarling with instinct. But her new legs tangled beneath her, and she crashed into the snow. Ashen didn't even look back. "Stay behind me," he commanded gently. "You are newborn. You are not ready." Her wolf wanted to fight anyway. Ashen moved faster than her eyes could track. He ripped through the first hunter. A blur of black cloak and shadow flame. The second slashed at him with moonbane claws. Ashen caught its wrist, twisted. Snap. The wolf's scream echoed up the cliffs. The third tackled him, teeth sinking into his shoulder. Arya howled, rage, agony, fear. Her wolf reacting as if the bite were on her own flesh. Ashen didn't falter. He slammed the wolf into the stone wall hard enough to leave a crater. The fourth leapt from above. Ashen flared his aura. A black vortex erupting upward. Burning the creature midair. The last hunter, the leader, did not attack. He watched Arya, studied her, and whispered, "Your mother is still alive." Arya froze. Ashen stilled, mid-step, mid-breath, mid-kill. "What?" Arya's wolf growled through the bond space, her voice distorted and new. The hunter's eyes gleamed silver. "Your mother fled before we reached her. She fought us off long enough to cast you into the gorge. She lives still, hidden. Waiting." Arya's legs buckled. Her heart splintered. Her mother, alive? Before her wolf could react, Ashen was on the hunter. Claws at its throat, eyes blazing with murderous fury. "Tell another lie and die slower," Ashen hissed. "It is true," the hunter choked. "She lives. And she wants her daughter returned to the Order." Arya staggered, breath shuddering from her lupine chest. "Returned. Not rescued. Returned." Ashen's grip tightened. "Where is she?" Arya demanded, trying to stand. But the hunter looked at Ashen, not her. "You would rather she hear the truth from you," the creature rasped. "Wouldn't you, Alpha?" Arya froze. Ashen went silent. Too silent. Arya felt her wolf's ears flatten. "Ashen," she whispered through the bond. "What haven't you told me?" Ashen didn't release the hunter. His voice was low. Controlled. Too controlled. "I wasn't the only one who found you in the ravine." Arya's wolf shivered. Ashen's eyes softened with pain. "Your mother was there too." Arya's breath caught. What happened?" Ashen swallowed. "She begged me to protect you," he said quietly. "And she made me swear, on my life, on my pack, on my blood, that I would keep you hidden. Even from her." Arya stumbled backward, paws slipping on ice. "Why?" Her wolf's voice cracked inside her head. "Why would she leave me?" The hunter laughed weakly. "Because your mother chose destiny over motherhood." Ashen silenced it with a claw against its throat. "Don't," he snarled. "Don't twist the past." Arya trembled, her wolf flickering in and out of control. "Ashen," she whispered, "did you know she was alive?" He turned toward her slowly. His eyes held war inside them. "Yes." Arya recoiled as if struck. "You lied. I protected you. You took my choice." "I took your danger," he corrected fiercely. "Your mother is loyal to the Crescent Order, not to you. She would have used your blood to restore their power." Arya stumbled back again. "I have to find her." "You will not." Ashen stepped toward her. "It's suicide. She's my mother. She will kill you." The courtyard froze. Silence cracked between them. Arya's wolf whimpered, confused, torn. Ashen's voice softened, breaking. "I watched her walk away from you," he whispered. "But I did not take her from you. She chose the Order. She cared more for prophecy than for her own daughter." A tear slipped down Arya's lupine cheek. Her first tear as a wolf. Ashen reached for her. She flinched. His expression shattered. "Arya," he whispered. "Please, don't pull away." The hunter laughed again. Weak, broken, triumphant. "Look at her, Alpha. She doubts you. The bond cracks already." Ashen silenced the creature permanently. One strike. One spray of blood on the snow. Then he turned back to Arya. His voice raw. Wounded. Barely holding together. "Whatever you decide," he whispered, "I will follow." Arya trembled. Her wolf paced. Her mother alive. Her destiny awakened. Ashen's truth revealed. Her bond torn between trust and fear. The world spun. And her wolf collapsed, breathing hard. Ashen rushed to her. Arya, look at me. Her form flickered. Half wolf, half human, both overwhelmed. I can't breathe, she gasped. Ashen gathered her in his arms, voice breaking. I've got you, little star. I won't lose you. Not now. Not ever. But Arya's vision dimmed. Her wolf whispered one fractured truth. Find her. And then everything went black. Darkness rolled over Arya like a tide, cold, suffocating, heavy with memory she had never lived and grief she had never earned. Find her. Find her. Find her. Her wolf's voice echoed from somewhere deep, distant, wounded. But another voice fought its way through the black. Arya. Arya, stay with me. Please. Warm hands. A trembling breath. The scent of storm wind and shadow flame. Ashen. The darkness cracked. Arya gasped awake. She lay in Ashen's arms, back in her human skin, wrapped in a thick fur cloak. Her body shook uncontrollably, not from cold, but from the violent, unfinished awakening of her wolf. Ashen's face hovered over hers, pale and strained with fear he would rather die than show. Arya, he whispered hoarsely, brushing damp strands of hair from her cheek, look at me. She tried. Her vision swam, flickering between the courtyard and flashes of memory not her own, a silver-haired woman, moonlight slicing through trees, a baby wrapped in blood-stained cloth. My mother, Arya choked. I saw her. Ashen's jaw tightened. Yes. You knew. I did. She lived. She still does. Why didn't you tell me? Ashen closed his eyes, not out of shame, but agony. Because the truth would have killed you before your wolf awakened enough to survive it. Arya pushed weakly against his chest. He didn't let go. He couldn't. His voice cracked. Arya, do not pull away from me. I trusted you, she whispered, pain strangling her throat. And I protected you, Ashen whispered back, sounding as broken as she felt. There's a difference. She froze. Because she felt it, beneath her chest, beneath her mark, beneath her ribs. The bond. Still there. Still burning. Still tethering her heartbeat to his in a slow, steady rhythm that refused to break. She lifted a trembling hand to her shoulder. The soul mark glowed faintly beneath the cloak. Ashen, why didn't it snap? She whispered. Why isn't the bond breaking? His expression softened, painfully, beautifully. Because you're angry, he murmured. Hurting. Afraid. He placed her hand over his chest. But you do not doubt me. Her breath hitched. And doubt is the only thing that kills a mate bond. His heart thudded beneath her palm. Steady. 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 Her wolf stirred, weak, aching, but alive. Arya swallowed hard. I'm scared. I know. Ashen kissed her forehead, lingering there as if trying to breathe strength into her. And you're allowed to be. You're allowed to scream. You're allowed to question everything. He leaned back just enough to meet her eyes. But you are not allowed to walk into danger alone. She blinked. Danger. The Crescent Order is not a myth, he said. They're real. They're rising. And if they know you live, they will tear apart every pack to find you. Arya trembled. But my mother. Ashen cupped her face, holding her together when she felt like splintering apart. Your mother, he said gently, is not the woman you imagine. She was powerful, yes. Brave, yes. But she was bound to the Order before you were born. She believed you were the key to their prophecy. What prophecy? That frost-cool blood could resurrect the moon's original champions, wolves who could rule entire regions with a breath. Arya stared. That's impossible. Ashen's thumb brushed her cheek in a slow, reverent stroke. You shifted for the first time with a howl that made my entire pack kneel. Heat crawled up her spine. I didn't mean to. I didn't know. Your wolf did. His gaze softened with something devastating. And so did mine. Silence stretched, fragile, trembling. Arya whispered, Ashen, is that why you marked me? Because of some prophecy. His hands tightened around her, not in dominance, but desperation. No, he rasped. I marked you because you were dying. Because your wolf reached for me. Because I could not watch the world lose something it was never worthy of. Her breath caught. Heat stung her eyes. And because. His voice broke. I loved you before I knew what love was. The world tilted. Ashen, she whispered, voice shivering. He pressed his forehead to hers, breath trembling against her lips. You don't have to love me back, he whispered. You don't have to choose me yet. His thumb brushed the edge of her mark. You don't owe me anything. Her heart clenched painfully. But I am begging you, begging, do not leave me thinking I forced fate on you. Arya's breath hitched. Her wolf pushed forward softly, not with fire this time, but with aching clarity. He is yours, her wolf whispered weakly. He has always been yours. Arya's fingers curled into Ashen's cloak. Ashen, you didn't force fate. He stilled. She swallowed, voice quiet but fierce. You saved me. Again and again. Even from truths I wasn't ready for. His eyes widened, amber and shadow and hope burning together. And if my mother wants me? Arya whispered. Ashen's expression hardened into something primal. Then she will face me first. Her heart broke a little at how quickly he said it, with the kind of certainty that only came from a lifetime of choosing the same person, over and over, even when destiny was cruel. But she might not be my enemy, Arya said softly. Ashen cupped her jaw. And she might be, he countered softly. And until we know the truth, I will not let her near you. Arya leaned into his touch despite herself. Despite fear. Despite confusion. Despite everything tearing her open. Because with Ashen, even broken, she felt whole. Her voice shook. What happens now? Ashen exhaled, long and slow, grief and devotion tangled in the sound. Now, he murmured, we heal your wolf. And then? The corner of his mouth lifted, soft, dangerous, reverent. Then we find your mother. Her heartbeat stuttered. And after that? He kissed her knuckles one by one, slow as moonrise. After that, he whispered, we decide who deserves you. And who dies for touching what's mine. Arya shivered, not in fear. In awakening. She leaned into him, letting his forehead rest gently against hers. Ashen, she whispered. I choose you. Not shouted. Not dramatic. A quiet truth spoken from a soul finally waking. Ashen froze. Then. His breath broke. His eyes closed. And his hands trembled where they held her. Say it again, he whispered, voice raw. I choose you, she breathed. Not because of destiny. Not because of the mark. Because you are the wolf who came for me. He inhaled sharply, chest rising against hers like a man drowning on land. And I will come for you, he whispered fiercely, in every life. In every world. In every fate the moon dares write. Arya closed her eyes. And the bond, their bond, flared in her chest like a star reborn. The Shadowborn keep hummed with power. Wolves in distant halls lifted their heads. The moon above pulsed once, as if acknowledging a union written long before either wolf was born. Arya exhaled softly. For the first time, she didn't feel small. Or weak. Or forgotten. Or rejected. She felt chosen. Protected. Awakened. Wanted. and claimed not in violence, but in devotion. Ashen held her as if she were both flame and salvation. She whispered into his chest. Ashen. I'm ready. His breath caught. For what? He murmured. She lifted her eyes. For whatever comes next. And under the frozen moon, with prophecy stirring and old bloodlines waking, the rejected girl who should have died in the snow rose in the arms of the wolf fate chose for her, and together, they stepped into a destiny powerful enough to challenge gods.